The Central Bank of Nigeria Act, just like many others globally, empowers it to redesign and change the country's currency between 5 to 8 years. When a Naira redesign policy was announced in October 2022 to begin circulation in December, about 3 months before a general election, many questions were asked, to which the CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, attempted to provide answers.
We aim to support the efforts of our security agencies in combating banditry and ransom taking in Nigeria through this program, and we can see that the military are making a good progress in this important task in Nigeria.
Analysts had perceived the outcome of the policy differently. One of them, economist and chief executive officer of financial derivatives company, Mr. Bismarck Rwani, saw more negative impacts from the policy.
If you take the assumption that almost all trades in the markets and the informal markets are settled by cash and only marginally by POS, you'll find that the velocity of circulation of money, which is very important, is 16 times. This is very complicated. But what it does mean is that 3 times in a month, a woman who is selling rice or gari and all of that turns her money, sells, and takes the money to buy back. If the cash is trapped, then you have actually stopped her from earning money.
Towing the same line of thought, the chief executive officer of Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, Dr. Muda Yusuf, said the policy will hurt the Naira.
If you have a currency that is rapidly deteriorating in value, there's a tendency to move from that currency into other currencies, or to move from that currency into other asset classes.
The predictions of the economists seem fulfilled because by the end of February, when the CBN was applauding the success of the redesigned policy with the announcement that currency in circulation had dipped by more than 200% to 982.09 billion naira from 3.29 trillion naira, many Nigerians were spending hours at ATMs and banks to withdraw their money. Players in the real sector were pressured. An adverse effect has been captured in their books.
Our members suffered, businesses suffered. On one instance, those selling food items lost a lot of food items, especially the consumable ones, because there was no money available.
The squeeze spread to other parts of the economy. Frustration led to peaceful protests, which eventually turned violent in some places. There was destruction and looting at some ATMs. Banks had to shut down to protect their staff from the anger of customers who could not access or spend their money. Acknowledging the challenge, the President, Muhammadu Buhari, encouraged Nigerians to bear a temporary pain for long-term benefits. A calculation by the Association of Senior Staff of Banks, Insurance and Financial Institutions indicated that banks lost the sum of 5 billion naira to destruction across the country. When the pressure became overwhelming, some governors introduced the legal angle, asking the courts to extend the usage of the old naira. Their wish was granted when eventually the Supreme Court ruled that the old naira remains legal till December the 31st, 2023. While this seems a long time in the future, the expectation is that the old and new naira would circulate together until the old is completely withdrawn. But opposite seems to be the reality.
Anywhere you go is the old naira note. Even on the machine you can see it's only the old naira note they are dispensing.
Even my customer now is not using, I am using only transfer with them.
It seems as if the money is fading away.
Unfortunately, attempts to get the perspective and updates on the new naira from the CBN has been unfruitful. The promise by the CBN's head of corporate communication to respond remains to be fulfilled. There are fears that with the current trend, Nigerians may still find it tough to get the new notes as the deadline draws closer. On the other hand, there are conversations as to the direction of the incoming administration.
The administration was to decide that we want to use the old notes. All I would recommend is they go through the process. What the Supreme Court had said ought to have been done, such that no no other person would say, oh, even this decision was unilaterally taken.
More questions linger on the mind of many Nigerians, including, have the objectives of the policy been achieved, and will all the hardship and economic loss associated with the narrow redesign policy be in vain? Ini John Mekwa, Channels Television News.